Hi, it's Kathleen from Bailey Academy, mom of 5, homeschooling 3 of them, ages 10, 13, and 17. I have to keep thinking about that because they keep changing their age. Today I wanted to share, sorry about that background noise, that would be my dog drinking water. Could you not right now? I want to talk about Chat GPT and how I use it to create my own curriculum or my own unit studies and my own classes for my students, even high school. So first I wanted to explain a few things, then I'll flip you around and show you how I use it. So I've used it to create multiple different things, and if I look like I'm looking behind myself, I'm looking at this computer screen. For example, I wanted to create a microbiology course for my grade 8 student. When he finishes, please don't. When he finishes his space, we want to do some microbiology, but I didn't know what to do for it, and even if there was a microbiology course out there, I don't have the funds to just be buying courses after course and, oh, this one doesn't work, try buying something else. So, and I wanted to be a teacher when I was younger. I love putting things together myself. So I used ChatGPT to write a course outline for it by giving it some parameters that I want to use. And then when it gives me what it gives me, I can use that and alter it and change it to the way I want it. And when I finally have that, I print it. And then I have, this is not the microbiology one, but I have a printed layout. This is zoology for my grade 5 of what they're going to learn what week. And then I can go ahead and decide exactly what lessons we're going to have and then go find resources for those lessons. So I'm going to walk you through how I do all this with a couple examples and then walk you through like a specific one that I'm going to do right now. So that is what I'm going to do. So ChatGPT, I mean, you can use other AI as well, but that's the one I know how to use, and it's free if you don't already know, and it's I find it very helpful. So I'm going to turn you around. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you go into ChatGPT. On the side here, this shows all the other things that I've done through ChatGPT in the past 7, 30 days, and in the last year. So if you've never used ChatGPT, this won't be here yet. But basically, you can ask whatever you want in the "What can I help with" section. And so in the past, I'm going to just show you the microbiology one I was talking about. Back up to the top. So what I originally asked was write a course outline for microbiology for an 8th grader for 1 semester. So I only wanted it to be 1 semester long. I told him how old you could say a year old or greater, whichever way you want to do it. And this is what it came up with. It said, here's a course outline for an 8th grader microbiology class spanning 1 semester. Oops, hold on. Okay, gives me all that information, the course overview, and then for each, the way that it first gave it to me was Unit 1 was weeks 1 to 2, and it had some topics that we should learn about, possible activities, and so on. So that's what I came up with first. Just like a couple spots of it here. So this was like, something to learn in a couple of weeks. And then I ended up just scooching down for a second. I have some resources there too. And then ask, would you like to adjust the pace, content, or focus of this course? And I asked for it to be easier and more about the viruses, pandemics, germs, etc. part of microbiology. And so it revised it for me 5 days a week. And that is what I ended up using. So let me just go back to the top. So, all right. So for this one here, when I print this out and start making it, it says like, what are germs weeks 1 to 2? So we should learn what microbiology is. What are germs? Overview of microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoa. How germs are discovered. Louis Pasteur and Robert, don't know how to say that name. And then it's got some activities possible. Sometimes it gives activities that I can't do or researchers that I don't want to buy, but it's just ideas, and I'm going to come up with my own eventually afterwards. And that's weeks 1 to 2. So I'm obviously I could spend, almost a whole week on each of those things if I wanted to. And yeah, so viruses, the tiny invaders, weeks 3 to 5, etc. So we're going to come back to that in a minute because I'm going to show you possibly, or I might possibly come back to that in a minute. Here's zoology, which I did for both my high schooler and my grade 5. So this was the one I did for high school. Give me an outline for a homeschool zoology class for high school for 1 semester, 5 days a week with suggested activities, resources, and materials. So I got more specific with this one. And so it tells me week 1, introduction to zoology, some topics we should learn about, possible activities, including documentaries I could watch, resources. Now, like it mentions the textbook from, can't think what it's called, but Exploring Creation with Zoology, I'm not going to use that. And the whole point is I didn't want to use a textbook specifically, so I'm going to ignore that part. And then the weeks 2 to 3, we're learning about taxonomy. And then like it mentions this iNaturalist. I had never heard of that. I looked into that, and it's something really cool that we're going to use. Weeks 4 to 5. So you get the idea anyways. You can pause the video if you want to look at more things more longer. Prehistory, we already finished. It was our first semester. So, that was the project. I'm sorry. I had a project for prehistory. So I have questions about prehistory, such as the ones below. How can I turn them into a final project for a prehistory class? So these things here I had found on a freebie that I downloaded, and I wanted to turn it into a project. So I asked it, and then they came up with a whole project: research and analysis, creative writing or diary entries, hands-on component, infographics, etc. I ended up asking for I said do it on rubric. I asked for the rubric. The rubric wouldn't print properly, so I ended up doing it a little differently. Asked for a couple ones. And then I asked for it to give it to me in a PDF, and it made me a PDF, and I was able to download it that way. So that's cool. And my dog's walking around again. Oh, dog. What else do I got? This was the one that I did for the actual prehistory class. Create a plan for a grade 12 homeschool class on world prehistory to the Neolithic era. So the more specific you can be, the better it'll give you. But it's okay if you don't know what to say at the beginning, because it will ask you more questions that help you. One second. It will ask you questions that will help you become more specific. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to try a new Chat GPT. It's a little hard for me to type with the camera in the way, but we're going to figure out what topic we want to do a unit study or a class on. So, for example, I'm trying to think of something. I don't have anything right now that I don't already have planned for, but let's see. My brain isn't working. Let's say that we wanted to do a unit study on... All I can think of is dogs. Okay. So, give me a unit study plan. No, I'm going to use outline for the topic of dogs for a 5th grader. Let's try with that. It thinks and it just spits it out real fast. Okay, and we can just scroll down and see that it's going to give us a 4 to 6 weeks. We can adjust as necessary. I hadn't given it its time period, so I can decide I want it to be a 2-week one, etc. So right now it says week 1, introduction to dogs, science, language arts, art, math. I didn't specify so what we wanted to do. So hands-on activity. Week 2, history of dogs and domestication. This is actually something I might do with my kid next year. It sounds fun. Dog breeds and their jobs. Dog care and communication. Dogs in society. And a final project outline. So now I can specify, do I want it to be 4 to 6 weeks? I think I want it to be, 4 to 6 weeks sounds okay, but if I didn't, I could say, please make, and you don't have to say please, but I do. Please make it 4 weeks long, specifically. And there it goes. Here's a 4-week study. Sorry about the camera juggling there. And 4 to 5 days a week. Okay, so it includes science, language arts, geography, history, art, math. Okay, so here it says watch a documentary on how, right? So I don't know where there's some. So what are some documentaries on dogs we could watch? Just gonna scroll down to the bottom here. Okay, so what are some documentaries we could watch? Now, it will tell you about ones that are specifically made. However, whether you can find them on the services that you have or free online is up to you to figure out. But at least gives you some suggestions, some Nat Geo suggestions, BBC Earth. This one mentions it's on Netflix. Sometimes it tells me it's on Netflix or Disney Plus and I don't find it. So it's still up to you to figure out. But if I can find those would be very helpful. And this is all in one specific thing. What are some book suggestions? So it's going to give me some read aloud suggestions. Nonfiction books. Picture books and easy readers. And it even asks me, would you like specific recommendations? But you can come up with something else. Like maybe I want, like if I go back to the outline, right now it says like a certain weekend, it says science, language arts, whatever, geography. Maybe, okay, so geography is not a lot of, you know, I could ask for more specific things, like more science ideas for week 2. So week 2 science ideas has 2 of them, right? So I need some more science ideas for, oops, for week 2. Sorry about the cameras because I'm typing. Look at that. Specific activities. And I can look them up myself. Like Punnett Square activity, I can look up what that is and find an activity, or I could ask it. I could say, how do I do the Punnett Square activity for lesson for week 2? Tells me exactly how to do it. Would you like a printable worksheet for this? Sure. On the side here it says, here's my worksheet. And I can download it once it's finished. So that's cool. I'd never had it create a worksheet for me before, so even I'm learning new things. Let's see here. There's the worksheet, and I can share it, copy it. How do I download it? Even I'm still learning how to use everything. How do I download the worksheet? Oh, it's just typing in there. Oh, that's typing in the worksheet. Okay. How do I download the worksheet? And even I didn't type it right, and it still knows what I'm talking about. Click the download button in the upper right corner. Share, copy. I don't see the download version button. Not sure what I'm not doing wrong here, but I can figure that out. It even says if I don't see it, let me know and I can guide you through the process. So I can figure that out. But anyway, so that's cool. And then I can try also showing you some other things that I've done with ChatGPT before I go back to how to use it for other things. So like, write a description of the different book types of book genres for 12-year-olds. This is something I needed to know. So I needed to know because I was doing an activity. So we're making an activity. So it asked me that. For the 100th day of school, I came up with asked for some questions we could. What are some questions I could ask my middle school students about the 100th day of school, such as who was the prime minister 100 years ago, what year will it be 100 years, etc. And I asked me, and they gave me the answers or didn't give me the answers at first. So it asked me, oh my gosh, it gave me some questions I could ask, but I could ask for the answers to those as well. We're doing forensics right now for a couple weeks. So the layout of a middle school forensics study that spans 12 days. I ended up doing it differently, but this was, what it gave me. And then I said, what about a 24-day study? We used it for lots of things. Now, what I want to show you, I'm going to flip you back around and look down instead. So just give me a second. Okay, so this is the zoology for grade 5 plan that I had. I wanted to show you how I turned it from something that ChatGPT gave me into something I could actually use. Sorry about that. It's bugging me. A little piece of paper. There we go. Okay. So what I did was the way that I had this one is laid out. This is week 1, lesson 1, lesson 2, because I asked for originally for 2 lessons a week, and then I changed it or whatever. So I decided I wanted 4 lessons a week. So what I did was I looked at it in 2 of the suggestions from lesson 1 and 2 of the suggestions from lesson 2. Decided what I wanted to use, highlighted what I want to use, and wrote D1, D2, D3, D4 for the days. And then this over here is like what I'm actually using. So for example, it says we should overview zoology as a field of science. What does zoology mean? So I looked up lots of resources. I ended up using CC, which is Crash Course Zoology, #1, but only up till 8:35 because it's a bit for an older crowd. So that's what we watched for day 1. And then day 2 was assignment, draw your favorite animal and list its characteristics. Day 3, we did the basics of animal classification, so I found a taxonomy video. I know which one it is because it's in the history of my YouTube, so I was able to use that. And day 4, we played animal classification bingo. And so I think I'd asked it how to play that, and it basically just said that you put animals in the bingo card, and then say something like, has feathers, and so they cross off one thing that fits that classification, or is a mammal, that sort of thing. So we just printed off a random blank bingo card I found online, and we did it that way. And then, can you see week 2? There we go. Let me get it a little bit higher. Week 2, day 1. Explore different types of invertebrates, arthropods, mollusks, worms, etc. So again, I found a video that would fit, and that's what we watched. And then day 2, I ended up not liking what these things were, so we invented an insect. Something that I came up with on my own. And also, this was something I wanted to show her. Just something I found on the internet or whatever that I thought. Sorry, I don't have a lot of filming time, and I got cut off here. I just want to be real quick. So yeah, focus on arthropods was the next thing. So I found a video. Activity, create a model of an insect using clay or mollusk. So we used Play-Doh for that. So I just kept doing that, and I kept going on my computer and finding things that I needed. This one I ended up adding extra stuff, so it got a little complicated. But basically I found, like, look at what I'm supposed to learn. So, like, I haven't done this one yet. So, reptiles and amphibians. Learn about reptiles, snakes, lizards, turtles, crocodiles. I'll find a video, a website we could read. I found, like, books that I have that I might look at. Like, we've been using this Nature Smarts workbook for ages 10 to 12 by Mass Audubon. And so it has different colorful activities. So we'll be using this. That's plants too, but we're using it for animal stuff. Like we found our biome, what biome we live in. different things, mammal observation study. Okay, so we're using this. So I will just put down what we're using for it, or what video or what documentary we're watching, or anything that's helpful, basically. And that's how I do it. I pick a topic, I ask ChatGPT to plan it out for me, and then I do the more planning and to figure out exactly what. So in order way for this to work, you have to really tell it how many days a week you're going to be planning or doing it for, how many weeks you want it to be, so that it can space it out for you, and at least lets me know, like, I'm not just skipping, like, oh, I totally forgot about invertebrates, or, you know, things like that. And, like, it also gave me time for a research project and a review and final project. So if I don't end up wanting to do that, then I can just space it out more. If I do want to do that, then I have it in there. And it has, like, ways to do assessments and stuff like that if you need it. It asks me all kinds of things. So I have that one. I have ancient China that I'm doing with my son. I can't even find them all right now. To teach him writing, I asked for help with writing skills, and it told me exactly, like, when, you know, we're going to basics of writing all the way up to right now we're writing a research paper. And then I go and I find the actual, you know, resources we use to learn how to write a research paper, but this just tells me what order I should be doing things in. So that has been very helpful. And yeah, I was trying to see if there's anything else here. Oh yeah, here's the microbiology one that I printed and I have to work on right now because we're almost ready for it. So I need to figure out, this is weeks 1 and 2, so then how many days a week are we doing it? At the moment it says 5 days a week, but am I sure about that? If I'm sure about that, then okay, then I need 10 activities within what are germs. So I might write them all here, I might get another piece of paper, or I might redo this microbiology thing and do it separately. So I don't know yet what I'm doing with that. I have to figure that out this week because we're not doing school this coming week. We're taking a February break, so I don't have that time to figure this out. So, yeah. So that is what I wanted to share, and I hope that helps you use ChatGPT better. If you have any questions about using it or any ways that I use it, and ask me in the comments. If not, I would love to hear how you use it in your homeschool, or if you don't use it, what the reasonings for it are. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to share today, and I hope that was helpful. Thanks. Bye.